Hi everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. We're still on Unit 2, the Digital Toolkit, and tonight we're going to finish off Assessment Criteria Section 3.4, describe how digital communications tools can be effectively coordinated to enhance customer experience. Tonight we're going to look at conversion rate optimization, online and offline integration, integrated branding, active listening mechanisms, and presentation software. So in order to start thinking about conversions, it's really important to understand the stages of an online customer journey and to think about the process that the user goes through in order to connect with your brand. So traditionally, the marketing funnel would have consisted of awareness being generated by offline advertising such as TV, radio and outdoor, consideration, preference, action, loyalty and advocacy. You can see there in this diagram on the left hand side where we look at an old type of a marketing funnel and now what we've got a new customer network funnel. And this just shows how dramatically different it is to market now with the introduction of online and digital technologies, where users can find out what other people think about a brand before they buy it. They can investigate social networks. They can avail of reviews, likes, and that might change and make them change their opinion about a brand. So following on from that, it's really important to understand what your brand's conversion funnel is. Once you've established what you want your website to do, it's very important to measure the conversion funnel. And what this really is, it's the stages that a visitor will go through whenever visiting your website to complete a predefined conversion. So you can see there that people come onto your website, so site visitors, they browse around, they may then move through the process of perhaps filling out a contact form or signing up for information, or right through to completing a sale online. And this is called the conversion funnel. So when we're talking about online conversions, there's various types of conversions. So your company may not be a straightforward e-commerce site. It might actually just be a content website. So different types of online conversions will be relevant for different types of businesses. So an e-commerce site, the conversion is likely to be a sale. For a content site, it could be the number of newsletter signups. For a lead generation site, it could be downloading a white paper, or it could be filling out a contact form. And for self-service sites, it could be looking at decreased visitor length or fewer calls to a call centre, so that you can see that the customer has been satisfied via the web platform. So each step in the sales process on the way to conversion will experience certain drop-offs. So when you think about everyone who comes on your website, they don't all complete a contact form. So where do they drop off along the way? And it's really important to think about that as a marketeer so that you can improve your online presence. So ways in which you can prevent conversion drop-off. In a typical conversion funnel, visitors drop off along the way and to the final step, and it's important to understand that. So the good news is that when you're using things like Google Analytics, you can see what steps the users take on their way to conversion, and you can see where the potential drop-off is. And through microanalysis of these different paths, you can also identify where problems might be along each step. And that will allow you to eliminate anything unnecessary to help improve your conversion. And it could be something as simple as creating an effective call to action at each stage, just to nurture that person through the conversion. So just to recap on conversion rates. A conversion rate is the percentage of users who take a desired action. So when we look at the conversion funnel, we are analysing how people have come on the website and moved through the website in order to complete a conversion. So a conversion rate is the percentage of people who do this. So on an e-commerce site, if there's 100,000 people have visited during 1 month, and during that month there was 2,000 people who purchased something, then the conversion rate of that website would be 2%. So I'm just going to click into this Google video, which is going to show you a little bit more about conversions.
Driving traffic to your site is just the beginning. Once visitors arrive, how do you increase the odds of them becoming customers? Some visitors may not be interested in what you have to offer. Others may want to convert but have difficulty using your site. You can guess at where the problem might lie, or you can know for certain with Google Analytics in 60 seconds. The funnel visualization report shows each step that you've defined as part of your conversion process. Here's how many visits started the conversion. And here are how many actually completed the purchase. So where did they all go? Along the right-hand side of the visualization, you can see how many leave at each step. Here's a step that's losing a lot of would-be customers. It looks like the vast majority are actually leaving the site entirely. With so many people leaving the funnel from this step, maybe this page can be simplified to make it easier for visitors. You can define a funnel for each of your goals. Just go to the Analytics Settings page and edit the profile you want. Edit the goal for which you want to define a funnel and enter a page for each step in the funnel. The goal page appears at the bottom. Then save your changes. From now on, Google Analytics will collect the data for each step, and you can see the results in the funnel visualization report. That's it. Now you're ready to simplify your site and keep more customers.
So that video was just taking you through an example of conversion funnel and conversion rates in Google Analytics. So in 2016, Smart Insights released what in I think it was April, the national sort of e-commerce conversion rates global. So you can see there how what types of conversion rates websites have who are typically in e-commerce. So they range anywhere there between sort of 2.5% right up to 4%, and then they change also by device. So you can see there in the UK, smartphones converted at 1.94% at the end of 2014, and that actually has increased to 3% in the end of 2015. So you can see it's really important to not only understand conversion, but how people convert through different devices and channels. So if you think back to our sessions on mobile marketing and making sure that you understand how consumers are using their site, what consumer behaviour, it's really useful to look at conversion rates in the same context. You can also see here, this is conversions by channel, and you can see how different channels can contribute to conversion. I'm actually surprised to see social media at such a low conversion, because I would have thought that would have been slightly higher. But this is also really good information for you to look at whenever you're analysing conversions, because people will convert via different channels at different rates. So conversion rate optimization is the process of creating the best possible user experience on a web page in order to increase the percentage of visitors that convert into customers or leads. So C is often referred to as CRO, and CRO aims to lower landing page bounce rate and to increase leads and sales. So if you think about how people move through the conversion funnel and what your conversion rate is, and that sort of funnel visualization of where people drop off, conversion rate optimization is the process of improving your conversion rate by analysing what happens at each stage in the conversion funnel. So CRO stages, whenever you're carrying out conversion rate optimization, you generally go through a number of stages. And the first step is looking at the business requirements. And this is really essential to do that sort of understanding, well, what is our conversion and what does that mean for our business? What is the value? The second stage is looking at research and analysis. So you go through, well, who is our target audience? What do they want? What are they looking for? And that could be even holding things like focus groups to ask your customers, you know, why did you not buy? Why did you not move through the conversion process? There's lots of different types of research tools that you can use for conversion rate optimization. There's tools on the site, I think I showed them to you before, things like Crazy Egg, and where you can monitor where people click, and that's going to help you to understand, well, why did they not click on that call to action button? Maybe we need to change the colour of that and test that. So then what you do after you've done your analysis and your research is that you define your solution. So really you're saying, you know, let's go through a process of making our calls to action stronger, changing the website navigation, We've identified that people aren't scrolling down to click on our call to action button, so let's move it further up the page. And that's where you really begin to understand and make the actual recommendations of change. Stage 4 is then implementing the change, so moving the button, changing the navigation, and making sure that you document what you've done, putting maybe an annotation in your Google Analytics to say, right, on this date we changed the call to action button, now let's measure the impact after that. And that's where you move on to stage 5, where you're measuring and testing. And the thing is about conversion rate optimization, it is a continual process. So you are constantly analysing, implementing, measuring, testing, and going back again through those stages. So this is a sort of a very easy to understand conversion architecture. And it is a constant cycle. So you can see there that analysis and research phase is really important. Planning what you're going to do, implementing your changes, and then testing it. So that could be something very easy like an A/B split test, where 50% of visitors to the website see the call to action button in its old position, and 50% see it in its new position. And then what you can actually do is measure, well, which test converted better, and you might actually see, well, actually when we moved that call to action button up the page, we got more conversions, and that's where conversion rate optimization really kicks into play, because that could be the difference between hundreds and hundreds of pounds worth of sales or thousands. So just wanted to give you an example here. So this was actually an updated design, and it increased conversions by 33%. So you can see on one side you've got the before, doesn't look very inspiring, and on the other side you've got the after, where it's a lot more colour in it, it's a lot clearer, it's got different pieces of information on there, it's got some logos, so there's lots of things there that really have improved that overall conversion. And I've actually put a link in just below this slide, which will take you to some of your reading tonight in terms of improving conversions. So we're going to move on now to talk about online and offline integration, and we have touched on this previously, but online and offline integration is very important. An integrated digital marketing strategy is composed of several critical components, and making sure that you have online and offline working together is really important, because it means you have a seamless brand presence. You can drive traffic from online to offline and vice versa, using an integrated approach, and it will ensure that you have a lasting impact on your marketing. So this diagram is from Dave Chaffee through Smart Insights, and he has really pulled out sort of 6 forms of online communications, and then pulled in how that works with offline marketing as well. So you can see there you've got search marketing, online PR, online partnerships, viral marketing, email, and interactive ads. And in the offline world, you've got advertising, personal selling, sales promotions, PR, sponsorship, direct mail, exhibitions, merchandising, packaging, word of mouth. So what I want you to do is really think about your business, and maybe even jot down, okay, are we doing, what offline marketing are we doing? Are we doing advertising? Are we doing personal selling? Are we doing sales promotions? And then you already probably have detailed out what online marketing you're doing. But what you want to do is make sure that you understand, well, how do we integrate those two together? For example, if we are printing an ad in a newspaper or in a billboard, are we using a website URL? Because that's where you start to tie the online and the offline together. So some examples of integrated online offline marketing: you've got mobile check-ins at a physical location. So obviously your customer is there and they're checking in, so you have that offline online integration. Using hashtags in offline marketing, so maybe if you're running an event and you're using a hashtag, or you've invited people to share their experience with you, using a hashtag whenever they're physically in situ with your business. Custom URLs, which are really good for tracking. So if you create a specific website URL that is only advertised offline, then you will be able to track in your Google Analytics how many people have went to that campaign page, because you will be able to tie that back to, well, they must have seen our offline marketing. You've got digital rewards and loyalty programs where people physically collect loyalty points when they're in store with you, perhaps through an app. And then you've got things like teaser advertising, where a lot of the film industry would use this, where they'll give you a preview and then you have to go online to find out more, or you have to go to YouTube to see the full advert, for example. So very topical at the moment. I wanted to give you an example of a fully integrated campaign, and Walker Spell and Go. At the moment, they have TV, they've got PR, they've got a press partnership with the Sun, they've got their physical product, which is linked to the campaign. They've in-store promotions, they've ambient marketing in busy locations. So they have people on bicycles, large sculptures just to draw people's attention, and then they're giving out codes. And they've got outdoor advertising as well. And integrated with that, they have their online presence. So the whole objective of this campaign is to drive people to a website. That has a social login. They're driving people from social media to the website. They're using paid advertising, using online PR, and they're using online partnerships. So their partners are promoting and linking through to this website as well. So you can see how this is a fully integrated online and offline campaign. Online and offline marketing integration is also called multi-channel marketing. So whenever you think about multi-channel, you're thinking about the ability to interact with potential customers on various platforms. So using print, using your physical location, using the website. So as we have already discussed, online and offline marketing channels. Multi-channel marketing is where you're utilising a combination of online and offline to deliver a campaign. So multi-channel marketing, new technology has enabled organisations to reach new markets and different segments using more than one customer channel. So Stone and Shan in 2002, as they described it, the goal is to manage each channel profitably while optimising the attributions of each channel so they deliver value for each type of customer. Multi-channel strategies have added a new marketing opportunities and enabled audiences to access products and services in ways that best meet their own lifestyle and behavioural needs. For organisations, this has reduced message wastage, used media more efficiently, and in doing so reduced costs and improved communication effectiveness. So using multi-channel marketing allows you to reach more customers, but also allows you to reach the customer in the medium that is most relevant to them. So for example, if you're not doing Facebook marketing and your customers are on Facebook, you could be potentially missing out on that segment. And then on the flip side of that, I might only be on Twitter, so I would not see it if you were marketing on Facebook. So you have to think about that multi-channel marketing, and that comes back to understanding your customer, understanding where they spend their time online so that you can reach them there. So in your reading tonight as well, we have 6 examples of multi-channel marketing campaigns. The link is below this slide, but I've pulled out one of the case studies as an example for you. And this was back in 2010, where Gatwick was the first airport in Europe to introduce a 24-hour Twitter support and use mobile barcodes at information points. And they were the first airport worldwide to roll out a mobile and retail review site via Quip. So you can see there they're using Twitter in real time as a customer service tool. They were using QR mobile codes, and they were integrating rates and reviews. So from October to November 2010, they saw an increase in online buzz, 57%, with 85% of all online comments being positive. So we're really able to utilise this online-offline integration in their busy airport. So your reading tonight will also be around multi-channel marketing campaigns. And as part of your multi-channel, it's all about integrated branding. So the major difference between online and offline branding is the context in which the brand is delivered and sustained. So both forms of branding are about developing and sustaining a valuable relationship with your customer, but online branding occurs in a virtual context. So branding should be part of your overall communication strategy, whether where online and offline work are coordinated. And with your multi-channel marketing, any digital marketing that you're doing, it's really vital to ensure that you've integrated your brand. So why is it important? It's important because a brand can stand out and present itself in a consistent manner. It allows you to be instantly recognisable, allows you to have you have an easy to understand message. It allows your online and offline to work together, and it increases things like trustworthiness, and it just overall syncs everything that you're trying to achieve online. So how to have a strong online brand? It needs to be integrated with your communication strategy. It's not expected to establish customer relationships through a single web visitor. You need to, your online brand will have to develop over time. You need to keep a record of changes and the interests of your consumers, and make sure that it's seen as trustworthy, and ensure that you're integrating relationships. For example, financial services broker Charles Schwab opened 70% of the accounts in branches where face-to-face relationship from de- from account details were put online, and the feeling that there is a personal element to the online relationship added comfort and security in that particular scenario. So moving on from integrated online and offline marketing, we have active listening mechanisms. So it is really important now with the rise of consumers and their digital behaviour is that you listen to what people are talking about. And there's two main ways in which you can do that, and that's passive listening and active listening. So whenever we're looking at passive listening, we stand back and listen to the conversations. So it's almost like a giant focus group where the group is the web and the world is speaking about your brand positively or negatively, and it's a great way to learn about and identify what people are saying about you. And then you've got active listening. So this is a great way to engage with customers and learn from them. So with active listening, you may still ask questions and have the ability to get those answers. So think of things like an online customer survey or a poll across your social media. So passive and active listening are really valuable, particularly when it comes to online marketing, because you have the ability to do listening quite easily. One of the main ways that you can listen is through social listening, and you can track what's called social sentiment, and that allows you to understand and listen to the positive and negative attitudes towards your product or service. And social sentiment will actually give you a scale of how positive or how negative people feel about your brand, but it can be subjective because software isn't able to fully detect things like humour, slang, sarcasm. So just to show you an example here, this is a website called Social Mention. So I would encourage you to have a look at this site and perhaps put in your own brand name, and it will search the web and bring you back articles. It'll bring you back social media commentary about your brand, and it will give you a sentiment score. So now we're going to move on to presentation software. So we're looking back here at how digital communications can change the customer experience, and one of the things that you could use to do that is presentations. So obviously presentation programs are software packages, and the most common software that presentation software is Microsoft PowerPoint, Prezi, and Keynote. So I'm just going to show you this little video about presentation software called Prezi.
Hand in hand on the warm sand, we are walking barefoot and free. In your eyes, I see blue skies reflection, and everything is blue and blurry. Kissed by sun, loved by waves, we're so happy at this lovely place. No sorries, no worries, let it always be a sunny day. Oh, just for you and me. Oh, a sunny day. Oh, let it always be. Oh, a sunny day. Your embrace and your smiling face are making every moment miraculous. I believe as long as we live, our love will be deep and true and cloudless. Take my heart, take my soul. All I need is you to be whole. No sorries, no worries. Let it always be a sunny day. Oh, just for you and me. Oh, a sunny day. Oh, let it always be. Oh, a sunny day. Take my heart, take my soul. All I need is you to be whole. No sorries, no worries. Let it always be a sunny day. Oh, just for you and me. Oh, a sunny day. Oh, let it always be. Let it be a sunny day. Oh, just for you and me. Oh, a sunny day.
So how can you use presentations to enhance your customer experience? And one of the biggest tools to do that is a website called SlideShare. It's actually owned by LinkedIn, and it's really good for B2B marketing. They have over 60 million unique visitors per month, and you can actually even add data capture forms to your presentations downloads to create lead generation. There's full analytics on it as well, so you can see who has accessed it and when, and it's really good for SEO and inbound links. So that's the end of tonight's class, and I shall send you on some virtual learning tasks. Thank you.